Today we're going to be making a track with just one synth, Ableton's Drift. But before we get into it, just so you know, I will add all the presets I come up with in this video as a free download, and I will also include the project file so you can have fun with that. So with that out of the way, let's start the challenge. Yeah, so I thought this would be like a really fun idea to do, because on the one hand, you can learn something about sound design, and on the other hand, I have fun making music, and I think that's a great thing. I haven't really decided what genre I want to make. The reason being, I think the synth often kinda dictates what genre you're making, if that makes sense. This obviously doesn't sound like a kick yet, but it will shortly, hopefully. The kick is usually the easiest part because you just need a pitch envelope. So why did I decide to use Drift? And the reason being is mostly that I haven't used it much yet and I want to learn it better. And I think a great way to learn a synth is just to try one of these challenges to get the most out of the synth and see what it's capable of and what it's not so capable of. Yeah, and the funny thing about Drift is that the sound is always like drifting around a little bit, hence the name. And I noticed that it's really hard to make like a very consistent kick drum because of that. But I think in a more like broken style of music, it makes more sense. Like you can probably hear it on the transient. Like this is slightly pitching down all the time, which is pretty cool. That's actually very extreme right now. Okay, let's add some sound design, I think. Yeah, I'm just trying out stuff here. It's not really planned what I'm doing. I'm just going with the flow, really. Yeah, a little bit less of envelope on the filters better, probably. And I think I want to have some space on this bass, so I'm just gonna go for convolution reverb. And what I'm also going to be doing is add some group processing already. Because I'm going to be doing that anyway, so why not do it now? Okay, let's try to make a snare to actually get a groove going here. It's kind of tough to come up with a good snare, but it's also kind of fun because you have to really think outside of the box to make it work, I think. It's not a snare yet, but... Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to boost some resonances with the EQ to make it, yeah, to really shape the sound into something different. It still sounds a little bit too much like a synth, but I think with some distortion we can get this done. Let's try raw. Maybe we should also play around with the pitch a little bit. I mean, now it sounds like an 80s snare. Or a little bit like a tom. It's more a tom at the moment, but we're on the right track, I suppose. What else can we do? Definitely some different type of distortion. I mean, I can still play around a little bit with this one. Raw is such a fantastic plugin. It's one of the best Ableton has ever done, honestly. If not the best, for real. And I definitely want it to be a little bit brighter, so I might try the amp, which I like to use for making things pop. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a start. I'm definitely gonna come back to this later, I think. Yeah, we definitely need some hi-hats, obviously. I think I'm gonna add some perks as well to bounce off of the snare, so the snare will keep playing the same pattern, probably. Which absolutely doesn't sound like a hi-hat at all at the moment. I mean, this is a hi-hat, obviously. It really sounds like one, but I want to give it a little bit more character. A little bit of sound design, and then we can move on to the open hi-hat, and then we'll see where we can take this. It still sounds a little bit weird, this snare. I mean, it sounds like a snare and it doesn't sound like a snare. It's a little bit weird. I have an idea. Haha! Maybe we try Corpus and just use this bright snare thing here that I just saw. I've never used this. Okay, never mind. I don't think this works. I'm not happy yet, but I think I'm just gonna shape it a little bit with EQ. I mean, it definitely sounds like some sort of snare. We'll just listen to it in the context of the rest and see if I like it or not. Just use a simple hi-hat pattern for now. Okay, let's use the shifter because I don't think this is bright enough. I think this has like a little bit of industrial vibes from how everything sounds. Everything sounds a little bit metallic, I think. I think I'm just gonna start adding some synths, like actual melodies and bass, and then we'll see if I keep this or if I scratch this and try something else. It's a little bit too joyful. Let's try to brighten the space up a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna scratch this snare and try something else. I mean, it sounds definitely better, I think. I still think the bass line sounds a little bit too jovial. I think I want more distortion here. Ooh, I like that. This is giving me some acid vibes now. Alright, I think we have a good groove finally. Okay, we are in G minor, so let's take out this keyboard. I basically just want to make some dub chords in here, I think. I like how this is going. Yeah, I just want to create some space with this vowel filter here. I absolutely love the new auto filter, by the way. It's just such a great update. You know how long I wanted to have a dry wet knob on my auto filter? Okay, I definitely want some distortion. I tried the amp. I don't think the amp was what I needed. I like that. It sounds... it reminds me of some artist I've used to listen to a lot. I can't remember what exactly. I think somewhere in the minimal techno realm. Maybe something like Kollektiv Turmstraße or something. I'm not sure. It's been a while. Let's add a pad. I basically want this warm and kind of melancholic pad. Okay, I'm adding an external plugin to this, but this is free, and I've actually made a video about this, so if you want to know how this works, just check the video out. But yeah, this is just a tape plugin. Isn't it insane how much the amp always boosts pads? Like, this is without the amp, and this is with the amp. I just love this thing. Okay, I think I'm just gonna add some plugs and then maybe a little bit more of percussion, and then we have something. And the way I'm hopefully gonna do this is with this sequencer here, which is called Melodic Steps. And this basically does polyrhythmic melodies. Let's go to G3. I mean, this almost works already. And now what I'm gonna do is just record some MIDI into another channel, and then I'm using a section that I like as my melody. Perfect, the last sections were pretty neat. Let's sound design this a little more. I also want this to be a little bit more plucky. Yeah, I like that. And what I now can do as well is do some minor tweaks. Okay, I think I like what I have here. I'm just gonna add a little bit more perks, and then I'm do a little arrangement, and I think then we're done. And then I want to add some corpus because I want to lean into more of this metallic sound that I mentioned earlier. Okay, this is not exactly what I had in mind for now. And this is something I've mentioned before in other videos, but I'm just going to quickly explain it again. I like to do something called subtractive arrangement, where I basically just pull all the information I have here into a nice little chunky block, and then I just carve out stuff to form an arrangement. This is something, if I want to get a really quick arrangement done, like a first sketch is usually a great idea. I don't always do that because I think some tracks work better with going at a more thoughtful and slower pace in the arrangement, but sometimes this is just exactly what a track needs. Yeah, I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit here. So basically what I'm trying to do is I want to go with the flow. I usually just let the arrangement run through like this whole block, and then while it's playing I'm just carving stuff out so that it flows better. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole process and the whole idea behind this. So let's get back to the video. Yeah, we'll just leave it as it is, just as a little tiny raw diamond, and then we're gonna run it back. let me know what you thought of this. I personally liked this little idea. It's kind of interesting how it turned out in the end, because I think it sounded really different at the beginning, and I especially wasn't really sure if this was going anywhere. Yeah, it kind of turned out into something a little bit dreamy and floaty, and yeah, I think it's fine. Maybe it's something I might turn into a full track, who knows. Again, there is a download link in the description for the project file and the presets that I will polish a little bit, and then you can have fun with that, and it will all be free. I'd appreciate it if you would leave a like and a comment and maybe subscribe to the channel, and I will definitely keep making stuff like this because it's really fun to make, because I love making music. Anyway, I'm heading out. It's getting kind of late. I'm getting kind of tired, and I want to play some video games. So see you in the next video. Bye!